Hello. Who's this great, noble, hairy beast? No, not me. Meet Buckbeak the Hippogriff.
Isn't he beautiful?
I love the scene because the tentativeness of Harry at the scene's beginning and Hagrid's great pride in this creature.
Now, who'd like to come and say hello? Well done, Harry. Well done. Come on now.
We all thought when we first read the script that it was going to be, you know, the usual guy with a stick and a tennis ball saying, look at the tennis ball, and then later on they were going to put the hippogriff in, but quite the contrary. They actually had this full beast and fully animatronic so it could bend down and buck its head up.
Back off, Harry. Back off.
This hippogriff is standing there in the woods, and mums with pushchairs were going past, and the looks on people's faces were priceless. And what was lovely was that you could tell that people were reacting to it, even though it's a machine, as if it was a horse.
If you go back to the scene on the ground, the hippogriff does take a poo. And it's those details that I think make it more real. Really, I think one of my favourite moments in all the Harry Potter films is the flight. The foot, the claw dipping into the water. Those little details which sell the reality of it. It's that sense of liberation, that sense of freedom, that sense of connection with the animal and the connection with the elements. So beautifully orchestrated.
This is a climactic moment in the Potter saga. Harry and his godfather, Sirius Black, are in a tumultuous showdown with Voldemort's minions.
Nice one, James!
When this happens,
the way that they slow everything down, all the chaos that's surrounding them at the time is just stripped back completely, and all you see is this nakedness of emotion from Harry.
It's one of those moments when you kind of know a bit of steel has entered Harry Potter's soul and it's preparing him for that immense battle we all know lies ahead of him. That's another reason why he must defeat Voldemort and the Death Eaters.
But I wanted it to feel quite operatic. That's why it slowed down. And yeah, I wish I'd slowed it down even more, actually. In hindsight, I wanted to sort of really milk it. I tell you who I really love in that scene. I love Helena. She's so wicked, you know, the way she apparates in, and the delight that she takes, both in the moment at which she kills Sirius, but there's a very telling moment as she leaves the chamber where she kind of just looks pleased.
welcome back. And straight into one of the 50 moments Harry Potter would rather forget. His first meeting with the Dark Lord, Voldemort.
They are the two most powerful wizards on Earth, and yet somewhere deep inside us we know, right from the first time that Voldemort's name is mentioned, or not mentioned, that this series can only end with Voldemort and Harry going toe-to-toe.
I can touch you now.
There's a really disturbing tone underneath it all.
Come on now, Harry, the niceties must be observed. Dumbledore wouldn't want you to forget your manners, would he? I said, bam!
In a part like this, I think you try to find that lethal sort of, kind of quite sadistic nuance where you can.
Atta boy, Harry. Your parents would be proud. Especially your filthy muggle mother.
In Rafe's performance, there is a kind of visceral energy to it that that is genuinely intimidating and means that you kind of feel compelled to fight back and give as good as you're getting.
Have it your way.
Those were tricky scenes to film because I'd never really done fight scenes quite like that before. Well, at the age I was at the time, about 15 years old, you know, Rafe Fiennes was suitably intimidating that there was no acting required on certain occasions.
I'm going to kill you, Harry Potter. I'm going to destroy you.
Back with the dreadful Dursleys again. But here they can hold Harry back no longer, thanks to the arrival of a tall, dark, oddly handsome stranger.
Make a wish, Harry.
Sorry about that.
There's loads of magical, massive moments in Harry Potter, but the best one is the simplest one. His transition from an 11-year-old boy without a hope or a dream in the world to it being revealed, you're a wizard.
You're a wizard, Harry.
I'm a what?
A wizard. And a thumping good one, I'd wager, once you trade up a little.
It's part of kind of universal wish fulfillment. It's not just for children, it's for, all of us would like to have been taken aside and told we're on this special path.
Did you ever make anything happen? Anything you couldn't explain when you were angry or scared?
And particularly to be told by someone so benign, this monstrous, terrifying, brutal but gentle and loving creature. Who wouldn't want to have that happen to them?
Okay, I'm going to have to look away now because it's a bit all about moi.
The big stuff. Who do you think you are? You're never gonna get love.
You have to be trained up a bit, of course.
I can't think of anyone else playing Hagrid other than Robbie. He is Hagrid. Yeah, fantastic casting.
Madden, Harry? You wouldn't be talking about me now, would you?
No. The person I really stood out for and kept banging on about to the point that Chris Columbus said, yes, of course, we'll have him in it, was Robbie Coltrane for Hagrid. I could not have borne any other actor to play Hagrid.
Professor Dumbledore, sir. It wasn't Harry.
Hagrid.
In fact, I'd be prepared to swear it in front of the Ministry of Magic.
Hagrid!
And that's what Hagrid represents. He's the squidgy, benevolent way in which Harry will get there. And I think a lot of people identify with that.
Hagrid!
Oh, hello. Sorry, don't wish to be rude, but I'm in no fit state to entertain today.
We know about the Philosopher's Stone!
Oh.
He's perfect as Hagrid. What's odd is when people come to the set and kids come who know every punctuation mark of the books and every frame of the previous films. And then they see Robbie. He's not that big, quite frankly. He's not a giant. And they're enormously disappointed by him. He can never satisfy any of the children who meet him because they're not looking up that far.
J.K. Rowling said, I envisaged Robbie Coltrane the whole time I was writing this, and he gets the part. And that just means these films were meant to happen, and they're perfect.
Quidditch is just genius.
Come fly with me, let's fly.
Our next moment isn't so much a moment as a sport, except that it's not real, I think.
It's basically, you've got a ball, you've got to try and get it through one of the 3 different size hoops. I think the smaller the hoop, the higher the score. Then there's this funny little flying thing that's going around. If you grab hold of that, you're laughing because you're one hand's down, that's 150 points.
It's quite a very intense game, and I'd love it if it was real. I think that'd be a wicked sport to play.
I would really have loved to have played Quidditch. I'm
I'm quite big into sport myself anyway, and I just kind of think it looks like the best game ever.
It's got the slit!
Isn't that clever? Little thing like that. That's where J.K. Rowling is so clever. Little touch like that. Platform 9 3/4.
King's Cross Station, London. One of the busiest train stations in the world and a terrible place to get lost, especially if you're looking for a platform that doesn't exist.
Excuse me, sir. Can you tell me where I might find platform 9 3/4?
9 3/4? Think you're being funny, do you?
Same every year, packed with muggles, of course. Come on. Platform 9 3/4 this way.
Platform 9 3/4 was, has been pretty much the most poignant moment for me throughout the movies because it was my first ever moment on a film set and I'll never ever forget it. When you're young, your age is always so important, and I remember being exactly 9 3/4 of age on platform 9 3/4.
Fred, you next.
He's not Fred, I am. Honestly, woman, you call yourself our mother.
Oh, I'm sorry, George.
We actually ran at the wall. I think if you didn't know what was going on, you're looking at it from down the other way, you'd think, how crazy are you guys?
I'm only joking. I am Fred.
It's a good scene because we had to kind of run at full speed at this brick wall and kind of just stop just before we hit it.
Excuse me. Could you tell me how to get onto the platform? Not to worry, dear. It's Ron's first time to Hogwarts as well. Now, all you've got to do is walk straight at the wall between platforms 9 and 10. Best do it at a bit of a run if you're nervous. Good luck.
I love the fact that platform 9 3/4 has now become this place that every fan of Harry Potter has to go. We, as a nation, have taken it to heart. It's wonderful.
Bottoms up.
You do what they told
Meet everyone's favourite ginger rebels. It's Ron's older brothers, the Weasley twins.
They embody everything the Weasleys are really about, I think. Mischievous and, tearaways and always cracking a joke.
But it's for this act of pyrotechnical rebellion that we most fondly remember Fred and George.
Yes, like to see horrible people getting a comeuppance, and she was horrible. Dolores is just vile, isn't she?
I think it's like, how many times would you want to do that to your own school? And I think
especially the teacher, what no one likes, to have a firework dragon just engulf her and rip all the rules down off the wall.